powerful energy of ego, right? So, ego is a person's self esteem and self importance. Now, when most of us think about ego, it has a negative connotation to it, right? So, here are some things. And if you see smoke in the back, that's just my sage going. Don't worry about it. Signs that your ego is in control of your life. Too much is never enough. How many of us know somebody that you can give and give and give and it's never enough? Anybody can do for them and it's just not good enough. Okay? Disliking when other people succeed. Child, let me tell you. I know everybody knows at least one person. If, you were to say, hey, such and such bought a house or whatever, they're going to find something negative to say. Or, such and such, they started their business. They're going to find something negative to say. So they don't like seeing other people succeed. Now, I get a lot of us have the same aspect thinking of, when somebody strives and achieves something that we've been trying to do, we're like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? Maybe this person knows something that I don't. So then another aspect is always redirecting attention back to you. So, there are some females or a guy, somebody walks into the room and, people are complimenting they're on their dress, on their shoes, on their hair, or something like that. And you give everybody's attention like, well, hey, I want my hair like this, or you make it about you when the attention is somebody else. Craving respect and recognition. Yeah, there are a lot of people who seek to be leaders for the wrong reason, just to say that they're a leader, not because they're looking to help or anything like that. And recognition. And when I say craving respect and recognition, you've heard people say, do they not know who I am? Just that kind of aspect mindset. And last but not least, always defensive. I know a good couple of people who are always defensive because they could never be wrong. So, ego is how can I say? It's a way of thinking of I'm invincible and nothing and nobody can stop me. Extreme, right? But let's think about historical leaders, and not positive leaders, but historical leaders in the past who had this mindset that I am going to keep doing this malicious. I don't see it as malicious. I'm being powerful. I'm gaining this land. I'm doing this, and you killing thousands of people, but nobody's gonna stop you. Your motive and your intention is undeniable, right? So that's definitely an ego trip. Where does this energy come from? Where does this mindset come from? It's an insecurity is where it comes from. It's an insecurity. And so in order to make themselves feel good, they have to make everybody else feel less than. Okay? So let's think back about, like cartoons. I was born in the late 80s, so cartoons back in the day used to have like a little angel on this side and a devil on this side for the main character in the cartoon. And the angel would be telling them to, do something that was positive or, give, or just kind of like being humble. And the little Satan on the other side of them would be telling them to do something malicious or something that would more so just benefit them, but in a negative, like evil way that it would do the other person harm. So, we all have ego in us. We do. There's a balance between higher consciousness and, lower consciousness, or if you want to call it high vibration, low vibration. Excuse me. My smudge stick trying to kill me. But if you think about it, why do we choose? Which one do we choose more frequently? Do we choose the higher vibration, or do we choose the lower vibration? Do we choose our higher self or our lower self? What are we looking for? Are we all about self, or are we looking to do good? Like, your pure intentions of your heart is to do good. So why is the power of ego an important subject in spirituality? Well, let's see. How to understand balance. Because there's a balance between darkness and light. Okay? And what a lot of people don't understand is that is the root of ego, which is darkness, confusion, chaos, destruction. Those are the realms that ego flourishes in. And a lot of people don't realize it, that they're operating in it because they're so blinded by them being able to gain. Okay? So, why is knowing that ego is essential in the spiritual awakening? Well, spiritual ego is a veil of individual personality, right? A spiritual ego is the worst kind of ego because you don't know it's growing out of control until it erupts. It starts. A couple people might be mad at me, but it's okay. It starts when we start reading too many religious books, okay? And so then you read all these books on spirituality or religion or whatever it is, and then we start getting on YouTube, we listen to all these people, or we get on Instagram and we follow all these people, and so on and so forth. And then you start having the mindset as if you have all the answers when it comes to spirituality. Wrong. Wrong. Humility. Humility is so important. Spirituality is about you building a relationship with the divine creator or creators. It's not about revenge. It's not about personal gain. It's not about you being the most powerful witch or anything like that. It's about you having a relationship with the divine creator. Now, think about this. If you have all the answers and you are all-knowing, doesn't that make you a part of the divinity? Doesn't that make you godlike? So what earthly good are you if you have all the answers? Because you're on this earth to learn. You're on this earth to experience and teach others and help others. So if you're walking around as if you are God and you have all the answers of consciousness, then what earthly good are you? We're going to go into a little bit more detail. So, signs of you're a spiritual narcissist, right? Taking frequent pictures of one's spiritual practices and posting. I see this all the time. I see it on Instagram. I see it on Facebook. I see it a lot because you want other people to know what it is that you're doing. I'm not gonna lie, I've been one. I've posted maybe like a picture or two of, maybe my singing bowl and a candle and some of my crystals or whatever. And I don't know why. I don't know why I posted it. I didn't think nothing of it, and most of the time I take it down. But I see people who post anytime they're doing any type of tarot card readings, any of that, whatever. But because you want people to see it, you want the status, you want the recognition for putting that out there. Another sign of being a spiritual narcissist: boasting and flaunting about your spiritual achievements and gifts. Okay, for example, I went to a metaphysical store and I was looking for some crystals, right? And there was this lady in the store, and she was in the back talking to another lady. And when she comes to the front and I'm getting ready to check out, minding my own self business, as I usually am, lady says to me, she asked me about dragon's blood or whatever. It's a set for you people who are not familiar. It's okay. It's not real dragon's blood. But she asked me about dragon's blood, and I was like, and at that time I hadn't read up on or experimented with or anything like that with dragon's blood. And I said, I'm not sure. So then she goes on to talk about her being an empath. And so I thought that was really random that she brought that up. And I said, oh, really? Well, what type of empath are you? And she says, oh, well, I didn't know there was different kinds. I had a reading about 2 weeks ago, and the lady told me that I was an empath. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so that's one example. But I hear other people who will brag and boast about, their spiritual gifts, whether they're a healer, whether they're a clairvoyant or clairaudience or whatever. And these gifts are not gifts that are just targeted to one person. Like, you're not the only one walking around this earth with this gift. So to flaunt it as if you're the great one, you're Neo of the Matrix, is narcissistic. Another sign of a spiritual narcissist: imitating what a spiritual person looks and sounds like. For those of you who have listened to any of my lectures before, or I don't give off that I am this super intelligent, all-knowing person when it comes to spirituality. I'm not going to, number one. And as you see, I dress regular. This is regular Jan clothes. But I've been noticing a lot lately, like there are some people who are just going so extra with trying to prove to other people that I'm in the spiritual awakening, or I'm a Wiccan, or whatever it is. And I'm like, why? What are you benefiting from this? Why? Another sign of being a spiritual narcissistic person: claiming a stance of superiority. The reason why I even chose this subject to talk about is because so many people have this superiority complex, and it's sickening. But they also don't realize how this complex and this ego is going to get them in world of trouble. Because with that mindset of thinking you're invincible, you forget that you are human. You forget that there are things in life that will shut you down. If you get in a car accident and all your bones is broken, that just proves that you're not invincible. You know what I'm saying? There are some women who just, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. I'm so beautiful. I'm so sexy, blah, 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 blah. And I remember my mother used to tell me and my sister that you could be beautiful. But guess what? Don't let that get to your head. Because if you got in a car accident and your head went through a windshield, that beauty is gone. So what about your heart? Is that beautiful? So, talk about. And another thing about the superiority complex: what happened with the young man jogging is a prime example of a superiority ego complex that you justified in your head of doing somebody harm to make yourself feel better. I digress, I move on. Another sign of a spiritual narcissist is believing that your connection with the divine is somehow deeper than everybody else's or anybody else's. Again. Hey, Ian. Again. I say. Come on now. Yes, all of us have this dream of, I'm the chosen one. I was the one, but we all have the chosen one in us. We all are destined for greatness. We all have a part to play in this grand movement, this grand awakening, this thing in life, period. But to single yourself out as if you the only one who got all the answers, you're the only one who can talk to the divine creator. Just saying. Example of that is the Jamestown incident, when those people went in South America and died behind that minister. I don't know why I say he's trying to kill me. Okay, so the last one of a spiritual narcissist, and this is just a few. There was a lot of good ones, but I was like, this is the ones I'm gonna tackle today. Using spiritual words and concepts to avoid being wrong. How many of y'all know people in a conversation because they want to make themselves seem intelligent will start using big words, knowing that the people they talk to don't know what the hell they mean? Because they want to save face. Because they want to seem as if they're more knowledgeable than other people. That's a narcissistic person, period. It's someone who has to try to prove that they're more intelligent or they're smarter than other people. Just being honest. So, how do we fight against the energy of ego? Well, choosing humility, choosing being open and honest and willing to be honest with yourself. Because a person who has a strong ego lies. Lies. And not only, yes, they lie to other people, but they mainly lie to themselves. They look in the mirror and they lie to themselves. So, having the principle of balance and harmonious and just humility. Like, understanding that, yes, you're going to mess up. People are going to mess up. There are people who are new to the spiritual awakening, and it still is kind of uncomfortable for them to, jump in. So they don't need spiritual narcissistic people who think they know every damn thing, always shooting them down when they come on to some information. You can guide them. It's good to guide people, but to shoot somebody down or try to make somebody feel bad because they don't know as much as you, to be honest with you, they probably do know more than you. They're just humble enough to be quiet and make you think that you know everything. Because my thing is, I'm not about to sit up here and argue with you. Why? I don't have to prove to you what I do, my spiritual work. I don't have to prove to you what I study. The divine creator knows my intention, knows what my goal is. So, what are the results of having a spiritual ego? Again, like I said, abuse, even murder. Think about this. How many times, and I know sometimes, it's TV shows or it's movies or whatever. But you've heard of people who, did something with a Ouija board, or people who got in some type of cult or whatever. And the first thing they had to do was to get in touch with this particular energy that they're trying to get in touch with. Was a sacrifice. But what would make you be okay with sacrificing people? Ego. Because you want to seem powerful. So, do I have any questions, or do I have any comments? Do y'all feel like I might have missed something when it comes to this ego situation? Because I feel like it's not just a spiritual concept, but I see just a huge issue with ego, period. And I hear people say so many negative things when it's, somebody hurt you, so you want revenge, and that's ego. That's ego. We gotta vibrate higher than that and work on healing. So, any questions? For some reason, my Zoom decided to just literally in the middle stop working. So, thank you all for who have participated. I can't breathe. Lord, my sage is really trying to kill me. Any questions? Well, I guess not. Thank you guys. Bye.